Thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Yoga Core. Can everybody hear me pretty good? Awesome. Okay. We are going to begin in a child's pose. So you can determine how wide you want your knees in child's pose. I'm going to suggest wide knee, but if you can keep them close, that's fine too. If you are not feeling child's pose, you can just lay down on your back in Shavasana. And we are just going to take the first few minutes of class to just ground and settle in and just simply arrive on your yoga mat with no expectations and start to tune yourself inward. So that could be just focusing on your breath here, letting your heart rate slow down a little. Let your mind try to come to some stillness. We're going to take 5 breaths wherever we are. Inhaling through our nose and letting out the exhale through our mouth. Inhaling all the good, all the prana, positive thoughts, good air. And exhale all the toxic waste, toxic thoughts out of your body. So take 4 more breaths here. Try to slow your breath down. Feel your forehead connecting to your mat. Noticing your breath. Noticing if you're carrying tension anywhere, your jaw, your hips. Just breathe into that space. 2 more breaths. And on your next inhale, pick up your left hand and bring it on top of your right. So you're bringing your fingertips to the right corner of your mat and getting a nice stretch on your left rib cage. Take a breath or 2 here. The next time you empty, inhale and bring your hands to the left corner of your mat, placing your right palm on top of your left, your temple or your cheek, your right temple or cheek can come on the mat too. Just stretching the right side of your rib cage. Take a nice deep breath here. Inhale, bring your hands back to center. And keeping your child's seat below, inhale and lift yourself up so that your below is still the same. And we're going to do a thread the needle. If you want to do thread the needle from tabletop, you can too. Otherwise, we are going to lift our right arm up and then we're going to exhale and send our arm underneath our left arm like we're threading a needle. And that's going to stretch our right shoulder and neck muscle. So take a couple breaths here. If you're craving a little more, you can bring your left arm up behind you for a little bind. Little twist. Take another breath. Then exhale to release your arm, gently lifting up, reaching back up with your right arm and twisting your wrist around, and then releasing your hand down. And then doing the other side. So right palm on your mat, left arm up, and thread your needle. And feel what you need in this needle. If you want to bring your right arm back for that half bind, or if you want to reach your fingertips a little higher and see your sit bones down a little lower to deepen your twist. 2 breaths here. Feeling the nice stretch in our shoulder and our neck. Breathing into our stretch. Take your last breath. And when you empty out your lungs, release your arm. Move your wrist around. And then we're just going to come into a brief child's for one more breath before we transition. Then we're going to inhale into tabletop. Taking your time. Knees are under your hips, wrists are under your shoulders, your back is flat. And then once you're in tabletop, move into a cow pose. So drop your belly, lift your tail, inhale and look up. Look all the way up, and then exhale, hunch your back like a cat, chin to chest, navel to spine. Head is heavy. Inhaling to lift your tail, lift your heart, gaze way behind your brain. And exhale, navel to spine, chin to chest, nice neck stretch. And then inhaling to drop your belly. And then at this point, you can move at your own pace here. So maybe when you exhale, you want to move your hips in circles. We're going to do this for a few breaths. So make this your cat cow. You can keep your eyes closed here too to keep your self checked in internally. You can twist your fingertips towards the back of your knees if you want a nice wrist stretch. But just breathe while you move. Inhaling your heart forward, cow heart. And exhaling, hunching your spine while we're moving. 3 more breaths. Moving at your own pace. Finish off your last round of cow and cat. And then come back into a tabletop with your back straight. And we're going to do some light core activating. So inhale and curl your toes under, and then bring your knees up about an inch off your mat. We're going to be here for 3 breaths. So let your fingers be nice and wide. Push the mat away from you, keeping your knees hovering. 1 more breath. Exhale, and then inhale. Push your hips up so that you're in a downward facing dog. Your knees can be bent here. Walk out your dog. Let your head be heavy. Maybe shake your head yes and no. Get all the creaks out. Again, pay attention to your hands. Make sure they're nice and spread wide like a tree frog gripping a tree. And maybe inhale on your tippy toes. And exhale to release your heels down to the earth. Again, letting your head be heavy. Stay for a breath. Exhale. And inhale, look up and walk up towards your hands. Exhaling into your fold. Inhaling to a half lift, so hands are on your shin, back is flat. And then exhale, come into your forward fold. So your feet can be a little separated here if you want. We're going to be here for 3 breaths. So let your head be heavy. Inhale, lift your tail. Exhale, let your chest melt into your thighs. 2 more breaths. Give yourself a little calf massage while you're down here. Feel that nice release in your low back muscles. And let go of whatever grip you're holding on to. Inhale, slowly come up. Take your time. Let your head be last. And then you're in mountain pose. Stay here for a breath in traditional mountain. Feet are rooted, head is high, standing tall like a mountain. Now we're going to inhale our arms up, breathing, beautiful breathing, and then exhale hands to your heart. We're going to do that 3 more times. This is freedom breathing. So breathing together, inhaling to reach, waiting for everyone to join us. And then we exhale, hands to our heart, trying to slow down our breath and breathe together the next round. So inhale, reach, taking your time, filling up your lungs, getting all that prana energy, and then exhaling. Beautiful. 2 more times. Inhale, reach. And then exhale. Last breath, biggest breath you got. Inhale to reach. And then exhale. Come back into your mountain pose, Tadasana. We're going to stay here for a few breaths. So invitation to close your eyes and just stay connected inside. If you want to give yourself a little intention or some gratitude for showing up to practice, now is a good time. Also, standing silent and tall in mountain is a good little spot for meditation and stillness. Then we can start to gently open our eyes and inhale our hands up for extended mountain. And then we're going to exhale to fold. And from here, we are going to come into a ragdoll. So this is forward fold and grabbing opposite elbows. So squeezing your biceps next to your ears. We're going to be down here for 5 breaths. So inhale to lift your tail. Exhale, let your head be heavy. An option to sway back and forth here for some low back release. Sway like a pendulum, or you can stay still. 3 more breaths. Letting your head be heavy, chin to chest. Maybe your chest is on your upper thighs. Inhale and lift your tail. Exhale, release your head, nice and heavy. Let all that weight go. You carry your head around all day. Let it hang. Another breath. Exhale, release your grip. And then inhale, we're going to slowly rise back up. And then we're going to lift our arms overhead on an inhale. Exhale here. And then inhale, grab your left wrist, pull it up, and exhale to the right. So you're in a banana shaped pose. An option to bring your left leg behind you to deepen the stretch. So make sure your biceps are like next to your ears so your heart is open. 2 more breaths here. Inhaling to reach, exhale to pull your wrist towards the right. Stretch the muscles. 1 more breath. And then exhale, release. You can come into a star, like a big, big shining star, just for a breath. And exhale to close up. Hands overhead. Inhale, reach your right wrist up. Exhale, pull to the left. Banana pose. And another option to bring your right foot behind you. Stay here for 3 breaths. Inhaling to reach. Exhale, sink into your stretch. 1 more breath. Exhale, release that. Hands to your heart. And then we're going to exhale to flow back down. And this time we're going to take gorilla pose. So from here, we're going to step on the palms here so that our toes or giving our wrists a little massage. You can also just hang out in a regular forward fold if gorilla is not in your practice today. We're going to be here for 3 breaths. So inhaling to lift your tail. Exhale, release your head down. Giving a little wrist massage here. Release out of your gorilla pose. Then inhale to a halfway lift. And then when we exhale, we're going to walk our hands so that we're in a high plank position. And then I will not keep you here very long, but we are going to get this form right. So be on your balls of your feet. Hands are wide. Press the mat away from you. 3 breaths. Inhaling and exhale. Inhale, push the mat away. Exhale. Next time you inhale, let your shoulders come over your wrists. Then when we exhale, we're going to exhale our knees, our chest, and our chin so that we're in this 8-limbed pose. And then inhale up into a cobra. So feet pressed together like a cobra tail. And exhale your forehead down. Stay down for a breath. Inhale back up into cobra. And then exhale into a down dog. Second down dog. Try to make your body familiar with this pose. Feel all 4 points on the earth. Let your knees be bent so your back is flat. Inhale here and exhale. And then next time we inhale, we're going to bring our right leg up for 3-legged dog. And then exhale, step through. Take your time coming up and come up into a warrior 1. So moving slowly. Left foot is at a 45-degree angle. If your hips turned out, try to turn them so that they're straight in front of you. Then inhale your arms up. Bring your pinkies towards each other. Breathe here. 3 breaths. Really feel your left foot supporting you. Come back to your breath always. Inhale to reach. Exhale, sink into your knee. Take 1 more breath. And then open up to goalpost arms. You can stay like this for 3 breaths, or option to twist towards the right. If you do this twist and you want a little more, you can open your arms out. Stay for 3 breaths, letting your left foot support you. Breathe. And then inhale to come back from your twist with goalpost arms. Then we're going to inhale our arms up for a breath. And then we're going to exhale down to the mat. Optional flow. So if you're flowing, we're going to inhale to lower down. We're going to exhale into an up dog or cobra. And then inhale back in a downward facing dog. Stay in your down dog for a breath, feeling all 4 points, leading your mat. Head is heavy. Inhale your left leg up. And exhale, step through, taking your time before we come up, adjusting your right foot to a 45-degree angle, then inhaling yourself up. Then when you feel steady, then bring your arms up. Again, bringing our pinkies towards each other, lifting our heart, staying here for 3 breaths. Feeling the support of your right foot, adductor muscles, quads, it's all working, core is working. 1 more breath. Then exhale your goalpost arms. Stay here for 3 breaths or inhale to a twist towards the left. If you're in that twist, you can open up your arms. You can look back at your left fingers if you're craving more of a neck stretch. 1 more breath. Inhale, come back with goalpost arms. Exhale. Inhale, lift your arms up. Take one nice big breath here. Exhale. And then optional flow. You can always skip the flows and go right into your down dog. Exhaling your back bend. And inhaling back in a downward facing dog. Again, reconnect with yourself in down dog. Feel all 4 points. 2 feet, 2 hands on earth. Head is hanging heavy. Take a breath here. Let your knees be bent. Then inhale your right leg up. We're going to come back into warrior one, so take your time getting there. No rush. Then once you're in warrior one, hands up. Stay for 3 breaths. Maybe sinking into your right knee a little deeper. Take another breath. Then when we exhale, we're going to exhale like swooping our hands back and flat back. Heart is forward. So it's like you're a bird about to take flight. Stay for a breath and then come back up on your exhale. Stay here and breathe. And then clasp your hands behind your back. So you can stay right like this and just reach your fist towards the floor. You can let your head come back. You can stay like this, or you can exhale and come into a humble warrior. So let your right shoulder come inside of your right knee. 3 breaths. One more breath. Come back up on your inhale. Reach your arms up. Stay for a breath. And exhale, come down for a flow, or you can skip the flow and go into a child's pose or a down dog. Either way, we're all going to meet in the same place. Take an extra breath wherever you are. Ground. Then we're going to inhale the left leg up. Coming into our second warrior one on the second side. Take your time coming into this pose. Inhale your arms up. Stay for 3 breaths. Maybe sinking a little deeper into your left knee. One more breath. Then we're going to inhale to come back, arms back like we're a bird taking flight. Stay for a breath. And inhale to come back up. Find your breath here. Find your feet rooting into the earth. And then if you want to take the hands clasped behind your back on this side, you can let your head come back and stay like this for 3 breaths. Or you can exhale and come down into a humble warrior. Wherever you are, stick with it and breathe. 2 more breaths. Inhale to come back up into warrior one. Then exhale to flow down. Inhale to lower down. Exhale your back bend, but this time skip the down dog and come back into a child's pose. Or whatever pose helps you to rest. If you want to sit in a seat, we're going to be here for 5 breaths. Just let yourself come back to a calm, neutral breathing. Your heart catch up with you. We have one more standing sequence to go. Take one last breath. Then inhale into a tabletop. Stay for your exhale. Curl your toes. Inhale your hips up. Down dog. Back and down dog. Home base. Stay here for a breath. Feel all 4 points on the mat. And then we're going to inhale and look up at our hands. Exhale and then walk towards our hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. And then pigeon toe your feet together. And then inhale yourself up and exhale, sit into your invisible seat. Only one chair pose here. We're going to reach, then we're going to exhale and sit a little deeper. 2 more breaths. Inhaling to reach. Exhale to sink. 1 more breath. And then exhale, fold. Stay in your forward fold. And then inhale, slowly rise up. And we're going to do a little balance pose here. But first we can breathe together. So inhale to breathe up. Exhale. And then from here, we're going to set up our tree pose. So there's a couple different trees you can be. You can kick your right leg out, and this is a little tree. That's perfect. If you want to reach your foot up to your calf or your thigh, you can also do like a half lotus, like a yogi, hot yoga style. Whatever tree you want, we're going to be here for 5 breaths. So this is a really good place to find your drishti, which is your still point of focus, and trust yourself. Your left foot is balancing you. Your breath is supporting you. Three more breaths. And exhale, release your foot. If you want to shake out your balancing foot, move around a little bit, and then we'll come on the other side. So balancing into our right foot and choosing our tree. So what tree do you want to be today? Be with that, maybe different branches this time, maybe no branches, maybe swaying. Maybe you want to do prayer hands behind your back for heart opening. Maybe you want to challenge yourself a little more. It's always good to challenge yourself, do things a little different for your body and your mind, and just be with that. Finding your drishti, which is your yoga gaze, still point. Another breath. And then we'll release out of that, shake it off. And we're going to inhale into a star. And then we exhale, we're going to come into a goddess squat. This feels really good for you. Stay for a breath or two. If you want to bounce a little, sometimes that makes it fun. And then we're actually going to hands to our heart. We're going to come down into a yogi squat. So take your time getting down here. You can adjust. You can twist. Stay and breathe. If you are in a squat, make sure your heart is lifted so you're not like hunched. 3 breaths. Then we're going to come onto our seat. And then from here, we're going to keep the soles of our feet together. So we're in a butterfly pose. And there's going to be a couple options in butterfly. But first, we're going to flap our little butterfly wings. And then you can stay in this seated butterfly, or you can come into a turtle pose. So turtle pose is bringing your feet out and like bringing your arms under your legs like a turtle shell. And then you can round down, a very grounding pose. But if that's not in your practice today, simply just staying in your seated butterfly pose is good. We're going to be here for 3 breaths. I personally love the turtle pose, but I think I always used to do stuff like this when I was like a little kid anyway, so it's kind of brings me back to my childhood. Take another breath. When you're ready to come out of that, gently come up. And then we're going to move down to our backs and keeping your knees up. Sitting on. And then from here, we're going to come into a bridge pose. So make sure your heels, maybe bring them closer to your seat, keeping your chin straight down to your chest and hands down by our side, palms facing down onto your mat. And then when you inhale, push your pelvis up to the sky, making your chin a double chin and walking your shoulders towards each other underneath you. You can clasp your hands. Inhale to push your pelvis up. Stay for your exhale. 2 more breaths. Inhale to push. Exhale, stay. 1 more breath. Maybe you're coming onto your tippy toes, maybe not. And then when you exhale, gently come down 1 vertebrae at a time. Once your feet hits the floor, we're going to bring the soles of our feet together and we're going to open up to a reclined butterfly on our back. So if your hips are a little tight, you can bring your heels farther away from you. You can bring one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. This nice restorative posture. Your eyes can be closed here. We're going to be here for 5 breaths because I personally love this pose very much. And I want you to love it too. Feel your heartbeat. Feel your belly. Two more breaths. Last breath here. When you're finished with your last breath, close up your legs like you're closing up a book. And then we're going to reach behind our kneecaps and we're going to do just a few spinal rolls so that we come back up into a seat eventually, but take maybe like 3 or 4. That feels really good. And then we're going to come up into our seat. We're going to come into a mermaid pose. So bring your right foot on the inner left, and then once you're there, just bring your left foot back. So this is mermaid pose. Like imagine like a tail, or sometimes it's called deer pose. And then we're going to counter twist if you want it, or you can stay just like this. Yeah, so left leg behind you, right leg coming in. For a counter twist, just come over towards your right knee and let your forehead come into your palms. More breaths. Take another breath and then come out of that pose gently. And then we're just going to switch our legs. So bringing our left leg out in front of us and then bringing our right knee right behind us. And if this pose doesn't work for you, you can just sit in like a cross-legged meditative pose. We're going to do another spinal twist after this, but if you want to take that counter twist, just come over your left knee and let your forehead hit your palms, or you can stay up with your heart up. 5 breaths. Take one more breath. Then inhale to gently pick yourself up. And then from here, we're going to bring our right leg up in front of us, and then we're going to cross it over our left knee. So we're in this little twist here. You're going to bring your right palm behind you, and then we're going to inhale our arm up, and then we're going to exhale and twist towards the right. So this is a half Lord of the Fishes final seated twist. Inhale to lengthen, exhale to twist. 3 breaths. With each inhale, lengthening our spine and exhaling into our twist. One more breath. And then release out of that. And then we're going to switch our legs. So bring your right knee to the earth, bringing your heel foot on the mat, and then picking up your left leg and just crossing it. That way you're in a little leg twist. Inhale your right arm up. Exhale to twist. 3 breaths. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale to twist. Feeling your IT band stretch. Rinsing out like you're wringing out a washcloth. Your organs actually love to be twisted up like this. Believe it or not. Hope you believe it though. Inhale, lengthen. And one last exhale, twist. And then come out of that, uncross your legs. And we're going to come down onto our backs. And then we're going to grab our feet for a happy baby pose. So your elbows can be pushing into your legs. Maybe you try to bring your feet closer to you. Maybe you rock your baby left and right. And then exhale, release your legs to the mat. And one last twisty twist here. So inhale, reach your right knee towards your chest. And then exhale, drag your knee across your body and open up your right arm and look towards your fingertips for your spinal twist on mat. Stay for 3 breaths. Another breath. Last exhale, and then inhale to release out of your twist. And then releasing your right leg down. Inhaling to grab your knee, squeezing it in, some nice compression. Then exhale and drag your right knee, your left knee, sorry, across your body, opening up your left arm, gazing towards your left fingertips for 3 breaths. Take one last nice deep breath in this nice final twist. And then exhale to release out of your twist and take any last movement your body needs before we come into Shavasana. If you want to do legs up the wall, more happy baby, plow, anything your body is craving. And then eventually allowing your body to rest, letting your legs come out straight, head on the mat, eyes closed, and your final resting Shavasana. Letting your feet go opposite directions, palms open, honoring your stillness, allowing your breath to slow down a little bit, feeling the earth below you, giving yourself gratitude for your practice and showing up for yourself. Sometimes it's hard to do that, and that's why we give ourselves the gift of rest. And then start to bring some movement back to your fingers, toes, keeping your eyes closed. Turning over to the right side of your body. So maybe your arm rests as a little pillow. And if you want to keep your eyes closed and meet up in a seat, your favorite seat. If you want to do like a half lotus, double pigeon, cross-legged, whatever seat is comfortable for you. Take your time. We will all be here together in our seat. And we'll close practice together with one community breath. So taking a breath here, inhaling, exhaling, then inhaling together as a community and exhaling. My hands to my heart, and I bow to all of you. Thank you so much for coming to practice. It's truly my honor to be here, and my favorite part of my day is always namaste. Thank you.